Welcome to Philly's Kitchen. Today we are making Philly's gluten-free Maui Mango Bread. One big challenge to many people who are trying to switch from all-purpose type flour breads to gluten-free options is cost. When I priced out gluten-free flour, it basically was half the quantity for twice the price. So now I've started grinding my own gluten-free flours with a food mill that attaches to my stand mixer. The food mill is expensive up front, but if you bake breads weekly as I do, it quickly pays for itself. If you don't want to grind your own gluten-free flour, all these varieties of flour are available at Amazon.com. My favorite homegrown flours are oat flour, which is simply ground up raw oatmeal, brown rice flour, and dry seeds such as sesame or pumpkin. I measure all my ingredients by weight. This ensures accurate measures every time. Remember, cooking is an art, but baking is a science. Also, one note on this recipe is that grinding up tapioca can be very hard to do unless you got a real high quality food mill. It'll end up leaving little chunks in your bread, which are no fun at all. So if you don't have that high quality grinding device, I suggest buying some tapioca flour available from Amazon. So grease two 9x4-inch loaf pans with olive oil and place parchment in the bottom of the pans and grease the parchment too. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Okay, in the stand mixer, I'm mixing up, I've cracked 6 room temperature eggs, and I'm going to beat them real well with the mixer paddle. Make sure they get mixed in there real good. This will help homogenize the bread real nicely. So let them go for for a minute or so. And once you got all that in there, you want to add 230 grams of olive oil. And then we're going to add in our mango. The mango I took and peeled and diced it and chopped it up pretty good. You're going to have big chunks, but you want to get them as small as you can. I got 700 grams of mashed ripe mango. That was about 5 mangoes to do that. 5 nice Hayden mangoes. That's my favorite flavor. Next up in there, we've got the mango all in there. And next up, we're going to add our brown sugar. I've got 475 grams of brown sugar that I'm going to put in there. I keep my brown sugar in the fridge. That way it doesn't get all lumpy and hard and stuff. So you might want to consider that. But we're in a pretty hot location here, so we need to do that, especially in the summer. And then next up, we're going to add in sourdough mother. I make a sourdough mother ahead of time. I use it for a lot of different breads and stuff, but this gives it a nice little twang to it, the flavor, and also helps boost it. I'm going to add a little bit other ingredients that'll help boost it too. Some baking soda is going to help bring it up too, but the sourdough mother is really a good ingredient to put in there. If you don't have sourdough mother, send me a message and I'll give you some ideas of what to do. Next in, we have got 2 teaspoons of yeast and 4 teaspoons of vanilla extract. We'll get all that in there. And then once all the wet ingredients are in there, that's the vanilla, by the way. And the vanilla that I use is clear, not colored. I don't like the colored one. It's just food coloring that they're making it brown with. Anyways, I'm going to mix this up real nicely. Get that really blended well. And again, like always, once it blends up and we think it's pretty good, we'll shut them down and lift it up a little bit and scrape the sides of the bowl. Make sure that everything is mixed in there real well. You want to make sure you got a good homogeneous blend for your wet ingredients before you start putting in your dries. So I can see there's still some in there, so we'll give it another mix just for a moment here. I'm going to start adding in all my dry ingredients. I've got 210 grams of brown rice flour that I ground on my flour mill, 200 grams of almond flour, and 120 grams of tapioca flour. And tapioca flour is hard to grind up unless you got a real high quality mill. So if you don't have a high quality mill, I'd recommend you buy some tapioca flour from, I know they have it on Amazon, but I'm not sure where else you could get it. But it's just basically it's the tapioca powder you use to make tapioca. Anyways, once we get all those dry ingredients in there, I've also got 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, and for seasoning, I'm putting a half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg and a half a teaspoon of ground mace. And if you're not familiar with mace, M-A-C-E, it comes from the same plant that nutmeg does, the nutmeg tree. And when you pull apart a nutmeg, there's a fruity side on the outside. You feed that to your animals. And on the inside is the nutmeg seed, and wrapped around that is a red spider web looking coating around it. You take that red part out and dry it and then grind it up, and that's mace. It's not a whole lot that comes with it, so it's pretty expensive stuff, but you don't need a whole lot. And boy, has it got a real nice flavor to it. All right, now once our batter has been mixed up really well, we want to pour it into our baking pans. You want to get it about as even as you can. I use a scale when I do it, and I check and make sure they're about the same weight. They'll just, it's a little easier to bake them that way. They'll come out of the oven at the same time. So fill them up real nice. You're going to bake these for about 25 minutes at full temperature, and then you're going to bake them for another 25 minutes at 350 degrees. Stick a toothpick in, make sure they're nice and dry in the middle. Once they're done, boy, they're good. The aroma is just amazing. I'm going to have a slice or two right now. So don't forget, subscribe to Philly's channel and like us and share us. We'll keep those recipes coming. Thank you.